Intuition is one of the most mysterious forces in nature. Science has little or no understanding of how it works, but there is much speculation about the neural interactions of the mind. Scientists speculate maths or logic is the key. But can a maths processor feel pain or smile? Maths fails to reveal the beauty of the mind, but the mind can recognize patterns. Nerve cells can recognize patterns. A nerve cell has many inputs called dendrites and a single output through its axon. Science assumes that the inputs are computed to produce an output. But if the nerve cell recognizes combinations, it can recognize patterns. If a nerve cell has inputs from A to G, and if it fires on receiving impulses at ABC or DEF, then it is recognizing ABC and DEF. This is combinatorial coding. Combinatorial coding can explain how the mind can recognize patterns. Recently, a Nobel Prize was awarded for the discovery that the nerve cells recognize smells through combinatorial coding. The concept has been validated. The mind can achieve instant, real-time pattern recognition. The unique feature of the search process is that it does not select, it eliminates. Elimination is switching off, inhibition. Nerve cells extensively inhibit the activities of other cells. Many neurons highlight their perceptions through the inhibition of surrounding nerve cells. Inhibition works to identify context. The instant recognition of a familiar face by the mind has always been a mystery. But neurons with thousands of inputs could have memories for trillions of combinations and carry a lifetime of our memories. Such neurons use elimination to instantly recognize patterns. Walter Freeman, the famous neurobiologist, said, "The cognitive guys think it is just impossible to keep throwing everything you got into the computation every time. But that is exactly what the brain does. Consciousness is about bringing your entire history to bear on your next step, your next breath, your next moment." The nervous system is a production system where sensory inputs and experiences are stored and recognized in context to produce feelings and emotions. The most powerful feeling becomes the current feeling, translated by the motor system to produce a motor output. It is a process that takes but 20 milliseconds from input to output. Just half a second between the shadow and the scream. Several billion neurons fire to identify the patterns of life all around us. Over 100 million fire when they recognize light. Others fire to recognize odor, taste, touch, sounds, and much more. All these signals reach the sensory cortex. The sensory information provides current context. This information then travels to the association regions. Here, perceived objects are recognized. If one region fails, you cannot recognize a pair of scissors with your eyes closed. You can feel the scissors, but you don't know what it is. Other regions recognize events. Science has identified each recognition region. The data of recognized events and of the current needs of the body travel to a region called the limbic system. This region uses this context to generate emotions. The region is believed to be the seat of emotions. When patterns of nerve impulses fire in this region, you feel anger or shame. A region called the somasthetic cortex interprets the context of current feelings to trigger motor drives. Electrical stimulation of the neurons in this region can cause activities such as the flexing of a muscle or even involuntary cries. Broad drives are reported to be triggered from this region. The impulses from the motor regions proceed to an organ called the cerebellum, which insert habits into the system. In a computer, a command activates a series of programmed activities. So also, in the cerebellum, an intention from the motor cortex is translated into sequences of learned movements. The stream of impulses are more finely coordinated in the spinal cord, which delivers impulses to activate muscles. Muscles only contract, so when one muscle contracts, an opposing one must relax. These instructions are delivered thousands of times a second when you write a letter or speak a word. The spinal cord delivers the final motor output. The neural circuits show a region which receives all the processed information. The prefrontal regions, believed to be the seat of consciousness, receives both processed sensory information, current feelings, and the recognition images from the association regions. Thus the prefrontal regions see and recognize what they see. These regions are also known to have the ability to direct the attention of the mind. Thus this region exercises will by directing attention and managing motor controls. So, you have the ability to see, recognize, and even lift your hand whenever you wish. But no, you can't really lift your hand whenever you wish. Sitting alone in your room, you can lift your hand whenever you wish. But can you lift your hand high, say, in a theater? No. Because fear of public opinion overrules your will. Your limbic system decides that the task is not appropriate. Paul Ekman, the emotion scientist, reports that emotions are not your choice. The more primitive limbic system makes those decisions, not you. Those emotions drive us to anger or to the depths of frustration and despair. So long as we let emotions control us, we remain little different from animals. But we are blessed with a superior intelligence in our prefrontal regions, our consciousness, to evaluate events and to come to dispassionate conclusions. But this is possible only when strong emotions do not dominate the system. Our will, or a stronger emotion, will finally decide our next move. Meditation, prayer, and many such practices can still negative emotions. Millions of years of wisdom have been stored in the memories of your nerve cells. Even love and altruism are also inherited emotions. It is an amazing system. Intuition instantly processes vast volumes of inherited and acquired knowledge. Insights from all of history will be open to you when you have stilled your mind and become receptive to the wisdom within you.